Welcome back, everybody, to the Mahula Brothers Incorporated YouTube channel, the Mahula Life series, where today I will be sharing with you a simple recipe that my parents taught me. And that is, I think, very nice and simple and inexpensive for single people who want to just get something together really quick and not complicated. This is one thing that I focus on, not complicated. So, it's going to be Filipino corned beef, very watered down. A lot of people add a lot of things. This is going to be the very basic. Can of ground corned beef, all right? Store brands like Libby's or whatever else. Otherwise, you have to make sure that there you go. You got your little seal from Brazil. Ministry of Agriculture, Brazil, Inspeccionado. Now, my rule of thumb here, okay, there's yellow onion. That's the best flavor for this. It's going to be nice and sweet. My rule of thumb here is that you want to kind of get an onion and tomatoes about the same size as the can. This is a little bit bigger, and this is a little bit more tomatoes. But for me, we need more vegetables, right? Cooking pan, frying pan, or a saucepan, doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. And cooking oil, where that I usually like to use extra virgin olive oil. So what we're going to do here is, while we're chopping up everything, I want to go ahead and get that going and heat it up. All right? Spatula. Oh, and at the same time, I forgot to tell you, this also goes with white rice, jasmine. I forgot the other name. So, it's best that you cook your rice first. If you're going to make fresh rice, let the rice cook, finish, and then rest. So it cools down also. So while it's resting, then you start this recipe. And nobody comment on my knife skills, because even though I did date a professional chef at one time in my life, nope, I didn't learn anything. I'm a guy. So a lot of people, what they do here is they like to garbage can. They like to dice the onions. I like to have it sliced. I feel like for the texture and flavor, it's better that way. So I'm just doing this, and then over. Let's see here, that's right. Throwing at the end, the others I'm putting to the side. There we go, look at that. No one say anything. This is just the way I do it. For me, it's easier with a bigger onion. Yeah, am I wasting a layer? Yes, I'm wasting a layer, but whatever. Oops. See, don't say anything. Alright. So, yeah, we're waiting for the pan to get nice and hot. And then once it gets to be nice and hot, then we're going to go ahead and reduce it down to about a medium. And then we're going to stir and toss the onions. So like I said, I like it just sliced, chopped. Bigger pieces, I don't really like it. Personally, I don't like it diced. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, look what I'm doing. Alright, nice and warm. Oh, it's getting a little. There we go. So, cooking oil is nice and fluid. It's almost at the shimmering stage. Yeah, a little bit easier to cook. Yeah, this is a big onion. Thank you, dear, for shopping for me. So it's already at a medium. Depending on the size of your flame and the pan, I like to keep it at a medium and then let it heat through so that the onions start to separate from themselves, from each other. While it does that, we can do the rest. Now this is where you're going to want the tomatoes diced. Now, One of the key things about this also is that the mixture of flavor also depends on the tomato juice. So if you happen to have a tomato and then all the juices kind of run out on the cutting board or whatever you're cutting on, hopefully not just on the countertop, yeah, pour that juice in there, and that's what's the mixture of the flavors of the onions, the meat, and the tomatoes is what you want. Now, one other option a lot of people like to do, and I like to in certain occasions, but like I said, today is going to be the very simplest recipe, is to add some crushed garlic, fresh crushed garlic. You want to mix it in at the same time as your onions. I'm not good at tossing, but there we go. Yeah, oh wow, that really is a lot of onions for the pan. You kind of want a pan where you can have space, but we'll see what we can do here. It's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Yes, some people are saying, why am I dicing this upside down? Well, it's because of, someone kind of taught me this trick in a sense. If you have a dull knife, and at the same time, I like this. I kind of like the tomatoes a little bit bigger, a little chunky. And at the same time, when you cut it like this, it squeezes the tomato. Yeah, see that? That's why. And gets the tomato juice out. Yeah, you want as much of that tomato juice in with the recipe. As you can see here, it's getting browned. It's starting to separate. As soon as it starts to separate like this, that's when you want to start the next stage of cooking. Because you want the onions to start caramelizing, but not completely caramelize where the onions lose its crunchy texture. I like it when it's still kind of crunchy. Mostly when it's still kind of crunchy. But, you know, where all that onion juice is already cooked and it's starting to caramelize, oh, that's what I like. See, that's the way you do that. Separate. Some people will not like this because, oh no, it's like Spam. It's not like Spam. This is wonderful stuff. Now what I'm going to do here is I already have the rice in the microwave. I'm going to go ahead and heat that up really quick. Let that run. Now what you want here, I wanted to have a bigger pan. I did not estimate this properly. So, yeah, you want to get this thing here where it's touching the pan. So you kind of want to push everything to the side. Yeah, you might need to get a fork, like I do. Yeah, the rice was from last night. Still good, nice and fresh enough. But like I said, if you do fresh rice, let it rest. Let it rest. Let it cool down. As you can see, there's still some of that fat from the corned beef. Now, what you want to do here is the meat needs to be heated through. It's already cooked. It's pre-cooked. You just want it heated through. So kind of start separating it up until the point where it's heated through, and then it'll start to fall apart. Now, I don't mean separate. Separation means something else, and of course that's bad, but there'll be no separation in this recipe at all because there shouldn't be any kind of liquid like that. And what will happen is that tomato juice will go ahead and start to mix in with the beef. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to let it sit like that. And let it heat through. So what you want to do is let it heat through, and then once it starts to soften up, and then you can go ahead and start, shall we say, toss it, mix it, bop it. So at this stage, I like to go ahead and put the onions in, tomatoes in, so the juices as it heats up, the juices will mix with the beef. There you go. And on that medium flame, or actually, that's actually a good flame. Let it heat through. You can see on the sides, you might be able to see on the sides over here, they're starting to simmer on through. So we're just going to let that heat through. You want that corned beef to soften up, and I wish that there was another word I could use outside of separate, because separation means something else in the cooking world. And that's not what's going to happen, that's not what we want. If it separates, then there is something really wrong. Anyway, so I wanted to give everybody the recipe as we're cooking it in real time. Not be like, okay, you put this for 10 minutes, I'll put you 5 minutes. This is how I would cook it, just from eyeballing everything. Still on a medium flame. You can hear that. You can see it bubbling and simmering through. Some people, what they like to do is they like to have it cook and the bottom of the corned beef kind of start to burn and leave a little crunchy layer. You can go ahead and do that. Some people like that. I like that, depending on my mood. Other people like it, I know it sounds funny, other people like it where it's a little bit watery. Let me move this over, sorry about that. So you can hear me. There, that's better. Yep, that is not a spoon rest. So you can see the steam coming through. So you can start mixing it, folding it, where all the meats and vegetables kind of mix together. I just want everybody to see every step of this. I mean, what you can do here is that some people think that this might be a little bit dry for them. So what you can do is, during the cooking process, heating process, you can cover it, and what will happen is that a lot of the juices will not reduce, and this will be a little bit more juicy, watery. I've seen some people like it that way. Well, unfortunately for the older folks. But yeah, that's about done. What I would do here is, that's heated up, mixed, cooked. I like to let it sit and simmer through for a couple more minutes. And we're about done. All right. So what we're going to do now is, we heated up the rice, get that out. I already have the rice formed. There you go, look at that. I don't do that often. Make the rice like that. But yeah, this is already cooked, so. Yeah, sorry about everything falling out of the pan, because yeah, it's a little bit of a smaller pan than I had anticipated with all the ingredients, but yeah, this is it. Like I said, you can add in crushed garlic, a little bit of black pepper. Otherwise, don't add any. I wouldn't really add any salt because it is a canned product and it already has enough sodium in it. And there you go. Turn off the flame. And actually, yeah, I would personally let it rest. I'd do something else at this point, but yeah, I would let it rest for a minute. But we already have everything set. Look at that. Yeah, I watch a lot of cooking channel and these cooking, competitions and presentation this, presentation that. I'm like, nope. What matters mostly is how it tastes, right? And there you go. There you have it. Corned beef, tomatoes, onions. That's it. Cooking oil. I didn't add anything else. White rice. Bon appetit. So as you can see, this is a pretty large meal for a normal person. I have a big appetite, so well, this is going to be at least 2 meals for me. One can of corned beef is between $3 and $5, and onion, tomatoes, that's about another $1. Rice, say another $1. $7 at most for 2 to 3 meals for yourself, single person at home. That's all you need. Yeah, go ahead and like, comment, let me know, guys. Sorry about my chopping skills, but that's it. That's Mahula in the kitchen. Recipe 1. I don't know if I'm going to share anything else. I don't know. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for your love and support. We ask for your continued love and support by giving us those clicks. Liking, favoriting, sharing, following, subscribing. We ask the powers that be to keep you safe out there in the real world while we take risks for you in these virtual worlds so that you and your wallets don't have to. Thanks a lot.